there's this popular song that is based on Psalm 42, as the deer panteth for the waters, so my soul longs after you, right? It's a song and it's also a Psalms. And I remember a couple of weeks ago as I was singing that song during a church service, I just had a pause for a second and I began to say to the Lord, like, I know the lyrics to the song, but I don't have the hunger, I don't have the thirst. It's like at that moment, I knew that there's something wrong here, right? Like I know every verse, every stanza of that song, but that's not my experience. And when you read Psalm 42, the psalm says, right, that as the deer pants for the water brooks, so my soul longs for you, O God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? It says that my soul thirsts for God. Like, how does that even, what is that feeling like, you know? And for him to say that as the deer pant for the water brooks. And I took a second to like YouTube what that looks like. And you could see a deer just crying, like it's wailing just to find water. Because there's this urgency within it that if I don't get this water, I might die. But in all my Christian years, I don't remember any moment where I'm like, God, if I don't have you, if you don't show up to me, like, I might die. Maybe if I'm in need of something, like sometimes when we feel like our life is at stake, right? Or like, let's say you are very sick, right? You feel some sort of intense pain. Then maybe we will cry to God and say that, come, or else I'll die. Like we will physically die. Not a death that is associated with our longing for him, but a death that is associated to a sickness, right? So we will long after God to the degree that we will obtain something from him, right? But to yearn after him to the degree that we just want him. Like once he appears, we don't want to ask anything of him. We just want to have him. We just want to know that we are in his presence. We just want to know that, he's satisfied. Like not he's satisfied with us, but that he is our satisfaction, right? And another thing that I was reflecting on is that, one sign of a living being is the ability to consume energy, which is to eat, right? And we say that we are alive in Christ, but yet we don't even have the hunger or the thirst for him. Like we don't hunger for him, we don't thirst for him. So can we truly say that we are alive in him? It's almost as if we are dead. Like our spirits, our souls are dead, truly. And I'm like, I cannot continue this way. Cannot continue my Christian journey, especially 2024, this way, where I am not alive in him, right? That there is no hunger, there's no appetite solely for him, not for what he can do, but just for him, just to have him, to know him, to be conformed to him. Sort of like what Paul was saying in one of his epistles, right? That he put everything away, that he considered everything vanity just for the privilege of knowing Christ. There's one thing to read it, there's one thing to be so passionate about that verse, but have we come to a place where it's truly our burden, where it's truly our desire? And to me, I'm just like, I'm at a place where I'm just now realizing that that's the problem. Like, I'm realizing that, like, I don't have that burden. I don't have that desire. which in itself is a problem, right? So how can we be alive in God when we don't hunger, we don't thirst after him? And also make me question, like, what were we surviving on before? Like, what was it that was keeping me in him before, if it wasn't the pursuit of him? And I realized that, oftentimes we think that, the occasional Sunday service or the weekly Sunday services would do it for us. Occasional Bible studies would do it for us. Occasional prayer meeting, occasional revival would do it for us. And that is just merely keeping us in him. That is just merely keeping us alive in him. But he's saying that he's the true bread. He's the living water. Like, that means that any other thing that we are pursuing, or any other thing that has been sustaining us, is only breadcrumbs. It's only droplets of water. But it is only our journey or our pursuit for him alone, our longing, our yearning for him alone, that will be satisfied. That he said that out of us will flow rivers, streams of living waters, not droplets, not a little satisfaction here and there, but streams of living waters. But can we bring ourselves to that place where our longing, our yearning is after him, our desire is just for him? And I realized that 2 weeks ago I went to a conference, and it was like a 10-hour prayer meeting with RCN. And every conference or every prayer meeting or revival that I attend, I always go with a burden, as in like a problem that bothers me, or things that I want God to do for me, and changes that I want to see in my life and that of my family. But for this particular 10-hour prayer service, my desire was Lord, come. That was my only prayer topic. Maranatha, like that word Maranatha kept coming to me. So I Googled it to see the definition of it. And it means, my Lord, come, or oh Lord, come. So when I went to the prayer meeting, I'm just like, God, I don't, there's nothing that I want but for you to just come. It's almost as if I'm being born again, like, come into my life, like, not to do anything, not to resolve any problems, but I just want you, right? If nothing in my life, no problem in my life ever is resolved, it's fine. I just want you in that moment. And that was my prayer throughout the whole session. Like, I just want you. Now 2023 is setting, and 2024 is upon us. It is my prayer that as we enter into this new year, that God will stir up within us a hunger, a yearning after him, a thirst for him, that daily we will just desire more of him, desire more of his presence, not for what we can gain, but just for the privilege of knowing him, beholding him, being conformed to him. God bless you.